Are you ready to grind? It's Sports 56 Grind Time with Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sain. Now, here's Peter and Anthony.
What up? What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Sports 56 Grind Time with Anthony Sain and Peter Edmiston. Peter Edmiston is out for an undisclosed amount of time. I have no clue when Peter's coming. Peter just said, I'm out, and I'll get with you when I'm coming back. That's what you do when you got 15, whatever amount of years in the game, man. You can do that, for sure. I don't even take off days. Peter just be getting up out of here.
He just run away from you.
Yeah, I gotta get to that point, man.
Yeah.
I can. I just ain't never requested nothing. Like if I go on a road trip or something, I'll take time off. But
You'll find a way to get some of that R&R time.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Peter gets up out of here.
Oh yeah.
It's me and Darian holding it down for the undisclosed amount of time.
Yes, sir.
Undisclosed future is coming up. But welcome to Sports 56 Grind Time. We do this show every Monday through Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. here on Sports 56, 98.5 FM. If you guys are at home or you guys are in your car, whatever you're doing, don't do it if you're in your car. But if you're at home in your desk at work, you can look at our faces. You can look at myself. You can look at Darian. And you can see some good throwback Grizzlies video clips to the commercial break.
They're awesome.
Those are from the inaugural season, I think. Those clips are very old. But anyway, you can check us out on the Sports 56 WHBQ website. You can go there and you can watch us live. You can watch us on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, all those different places you can watch us live, streaming on your phones, your mobile devices, your computer, your TV, whatever you're doing. You can watch us through all those different ways. You also can contact us today. Several different ways you can do that as well. You can do that directly through those streaming services you're watching. If you're watching a video of us, if you comment to us, it's going to come up on the screen. We'd love to get you guys feedback via that way. Plus, you can hit us up on the AutoZone listener line at any time. Yeah, I'm going to let you do that. I'm not equipped to do the sound effects today. Yeah, all that. Hit us up. That number is 901-360-8255. We made it so convenient that you can call us and text us on that same phone number. Those texts will come over to the screen. And, Darian, guess what I'm going to do today?
What you got?
I am going to allow you guys to call in today. We're going to take callers today. Darian, it means that your job is going to be anticipated.
Let's do it.
You're going to have to screen some calls a little bit, see what people have to talk about. And if you feel some bad energy, just let them go.
We don't do bad energy.
Because the energy is bad. Because today is a day of celebration. We are celebrating what seems to be, there it is. We are celebrating what seems to be the imminent announcement of the Memphis Grizzlies, of Demetrius Jamel Moran being named to the NBA's All-Star Western Conference starting lineup team. First player that's done that since Marc Gasol. There's been a lot of bad reporting on that as well. There are people talking about, they're kind of downplaying what Marc did as well. They're saying things like, oh, well, when Marc got it, well, they're saying that Marc was the first NBA All-Star game starter. But then they're saying that, well, he played the center position, so
kind of poo-poo in it.
Right.
Yeah.
But back when Marc was voted in as a starter, there was no center position. It was front court, back court, just like it is now. So he was one of three. It wasn't like he was just competing against centers. He was competing against small
the
forwards.
all front court.
Yeah, power forwards, everybody. So that was a great accomplishment. But it's just something about Ja getting it that just hits way different than Marc.
It is. He's a superstar.
Because we've always been told for the entire time that the Grizzlies have been here that how hard it would be for a guard to get into that starting lineup or just to be an all-star period in the West. And here we have Ja Morant in his third season looking like he's about to ultimately be named to be a starter. I can't see where there's any room for anything to happen today that could make that not be the case.
It would be shocking for him not to be at this moment.
It would take him getting pretty much dominated by Luka Doncic in the media and in the player vote, and I don't think players really like Luka, so I don't think that's happening. So I think we're good on it. You know what I mean? He's kind of created a lot of enemies. So I think that – plus there's a lot of resentment towards Luka as well. So I think that the player vote will be heavy for Ja Morant. Also guys like Devin Booker will give votes, guys like Chris Paul. So I think it's going to be broken up so much that nobody's going to push Ja out of second. So I think it's just a formality that we're going to be talking about Ja Morant being announced today as the as a starter in the backcourt for the West. Also, the Grizzlies had a big win last night in San Antonio over the Spurs. We're going to talk about that today. Rob Fisher is going to join us in the next segment of 1:30. Not really sure when Rob's regular time is. We just kind of get Rob in whenever we can get him in.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to miss an opportunity to talk to Rob. He's going to talk to us about that today. Desmond Bain returned yesterday. Jaren Jackson Jr. is looking like a defensive
first
team, second team, whatever.
Say it by your guy right
whatever.
here. I let you know that earlier.
Yeah,
You're like, you're getting a little ahead of yourself.
I did say
first team, all defense, man.
You're calling first team right now?
Absolutely.
I'm down for it. You know
Absolutely.
I'm down for it. And Tyus Jones got something that every black man loves to do. He got paid on his day off. That's something. That's just black man. Every man. We love to do that. We like to get paid on our day off. And Tyus Jones got a payday yesterday. We'll talk about that as well. The Tigers are seeking revenge tonight against the ECU Pirates. They host them tonight at the FedEx Forum at 8 p.m., I believe. Late start.
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock.
I know that they're probably doing that for television, but like college basketball having those late start times, man, that's tough, man. That's tough for sure. So we're going to talk about that at some point during the show as well. Dustin Starr joins us at 2 o'clock to talk about wrestling. That was a crazy move in AEW last night in a ladder match. I definitely want to talk about that and how AEW just continues to just up the ante as far as their stunts and things like that are concerned. Ben Roethlisberger officially retired today. We're going to talk about that as well, where he stands as far as all-timers. Me and Darren will definitely chop that up as well. Also want to talk about, just want to play a little game in regards to the Grizzlies, so to speak. Drew Hill put a tweet out. Drew Hill of the Daily Memphis put out a tweet about a quote that John Moran dropped about Josh saying that Jaren needs an endorsement with Windex or something like that.
Yeah, that was
great. So we're going to – and then Drew asked the question, what companies could match up good with some of our players. So we're going to play that game today. We've got a couple. And we're going to have an open segment for calls probably in the last segment of this hour for sure. And maybe in the the second segment of the second hour. So last segment of this hour and second segment of the second hour, we will attempt to have phone calls today.
Oh, we're going to get them in, man. We got some astute listeners. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
They'll be fine, man. Let's rock and roll.
Yeah, we're going to rock and roll today. But speaking of rocking and rolling, like I said, your Memphis Grizzlies traveled to San Antonio yesterday. We talked about how we talked about Greg Popovich and how I was saying that Greg Popovich needs to just ride off into the sunset, man. He needs to just let it go. We talked about that for sure yesterday. I was saying that I think Greg needs to let it go. Peter was saying, long as he still can do it, let the man coach as long as he can coach. After watching that game yesterday, I am going to change my stance.
What you changing it to?
I think we're allowed to do that as adults, and even as media members, we can change our stance.
When you get new evidence, you reserve the right to change your opinion.
He seems to really be engaged in building and developing the young players on their team.
Primarily Murray, correct?
Yeah, that team has a lot of young, scrappy, athletic, just guys who get into the basket. Because I want to say they're one of the top teams in paint points in the league, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. But they didn't outscore us in paint points last night. Last night it was 61-50.
Yeah, that team has a lot of guys who they're crafty. They can get to the rim. They're athletic. They got a few guys that can knock down shots.
Lonnie Walker Jr.
Yeah,
Lonnie Walker fourth. I'm sorry.
They're not particularly a good team. They're clearly not a good team, but they are a lot better than they could be. And I'm not mad at what they do because that game got. Just listen to certain people's responses. It looks like we're beating them. Like if I wasn't looking at the scoreboard, I think we're beating them by 15, 20 points. But we're up by 5. You know what I mean? Like that Spurs team just kind of finds a way to just kind of hang around. And Popovich is still a master of just maximizing players, maximizing talent. But the Grizzlies were able to find a way to hang on and get that big victory last night. Something that stood out to me big time. That had me like, okay, I've never seen this before. Like, and I've seen John Morant do a lot of amazing things. I've seen him jump. I've seen him almost jump over Kevin Love's head. I've seen them, chase down blocks and crazy layups and crazy passes and, just ridiculous dribble moves, things like that. But he did something yesterday that I've literally never seen before.
What was that?
He was able to get to the line off of superstar calls last night. I've never seen a Grizzlies game and saw a player do other teams like we've been done so many times before.
Absolutely. And I want to give you credit about calling San Antonio out. Last game, I think he went for 32 points the last time he went against San Antonio. He went for 41 points. And that was his most complete game. 3 for 5 from the three-point line. Like, I'm loving how he is getting to the hole. He's taking the points in the paint, and he is just, he's unstoppable.
Yeah. I'm starting to feel like Ja really feels a way about Popovich and the whole Olympic snub or whatever. But what I was saying, the fouls. I can remember several Grizzly games when, we're getting beat by double digits. We mount a comeback. We get within 2. We get within 3.
Fall just short.
And then the line to the free throw line just starts, where whether it's James Harden or Donovan Mitchell or whoever,
parade
LeBron,
to the line.
Yeah, it's just literally, like you said, a parade to the free throw line from whoever star players on the other team, and we can never close that gap because we're down 3, we're down 2. They make 2 free throws. We go down and score. They make 2 free throws again. It's like we're just giving them free points. And to see Ja Moran go to the line repeatedly in the last minutes of the game, just because he looked like he was just going to the basket. Did I see a foul? I don't know.
Yeah. That comes with attacking.
I'll take it. It was super exciting to see, and it just makes you realize we have a star player on this team who's going to get those favorable calls. I was excited about it last night for sure. What are some of the things that you pulled from the game yesterday, Derek?
Like you said, not only just the superstar calls, but the way he's presenting himself.
Yeah.
He's presenting himself in a fashion to get those calls now. Like previously, we probably weren't putting ourselves in a position to get those calls, but him getting to the hole, him being the aggressor is what's lending the referees to give him that call. And then the way he carries himself after the press conference, after the game in the press conferences, you hear him. He's expecting to get those calls. It sounds like he'd be a little bit peeved off if he did not get those calls. So from that standpoint, that's the superstar treatment because he's acting that way. He's not acting second tier. He's not acting small market. John's going to make us think we're in New York, LA in just a second. This guy's going to make us think that we're really, really big time because he acts as such. I love his demeanor. He is not second tier. He doesn't care where he came from, whether it's Missouri State or State Missouri. He does not care. He is a superstar of the highest echelon, and I think that guy is awesome.
Trying to find the tweet that he dropped yesterday, because you have some audio. Okay, here it is. A guy puts out a tweet yesterday after Ja's press conference, and matter of fact, okay, I'll read the tweet that ESPN was referring to, and I'll let you play the audio from after the game. And then we're going to talk about what Ja said and my thoughts on it. But Ja says, he's talking about an all-star nod, which looks like it would be an obvious all-star nod. He says, I deserve this. I earned this. I didn't want to be no alternate. I didn't want to be no spot filler. That was a quote from Ja Morant. So a guy comes back after that. This dude has like 12 followers, I think, on Twitter, which may be a new record for Ja. It might be a new record as far as the lowest amount of Twitter followers of someone
he's
he was
going back
to.
in, yeah.
Yeah, and the guy says, Urban Stranad is his name or something like that. He says, I used to really like him, talking about Ja, but I'm starting to dislike him more and more. He rates himself way too highly and talks way too much. Hopefully the first round exit he's going to face in the playoffs clears his head a bit and gets him off his little I'm that guy cloud 9. Ja responds, and he says, I ain't coming to the league to be liked, nor do I care to be liked, especially by you. Imagine disliking somebody because they're confident. Imagine disliking somebody because they're not afraid to voice their opinion. You goofy as hell. No. If you're older, if you're not one of the cool kids and you see the word ash, A-S-H, that means as hell. Did you know that, John Harden, who's sitting there looking at me? All right. John Harden says he knew that ash means as hell. So here's the thing, though, man. Like, bro, Ja, I feel you.
Yes.
I feel you. Like, when you because I get people who get agitated with me on Twitter or agitated on the radio when I say that I'm a media pop star, or when I say I'm the best.
And that you are.
Or I say I'm the tribal chief of Grizz Twitter, and that gets under people's skin. Why? I can't think I'm the best.
Yeah, you move the needle, man. You're a needle mover.
Like why I gotta act like I'm somebody's better than me? Like
Absolutely.
And
Ja portrays that so effortlessly.
Yeah,
so effortlessly.
And play the audio from last night because, Ja, I feel you. You're the best at what you do. I'm the best at what I do. So I feel you. But go ahead and play the audio.
After that first, timeout, I got a little emotional. Just was trying to, set into the game. Cried a little bit, but I just had to lock in. My mom told me she, wanted me to be here, and that if anybody knows my grandma, she wants me to play and want to be able to watch me. So that's what went into me, staying, here for the game, and just had to go out there and battle. Knowing she's watching, knowing I couldn't, be there with her right now. I had to, put on a performance. I can say, that's, one thing, that got me going here for this game. Also, shout out to, they Bally Sports page. I seen that tweet as well. Y'all can go find that if y'all want to. And shout out to whoever took us off TV.
As he stares directly
appreciate you for that.
Yeah.
That game right there was for you too. You want to take us off. I don't know what went into that, but yeah.
But yeah, I love that guy,
I love
man.
that level of pettiness, man. Like, that's the type of pettiness you got to have, bro.
You have to.
And the thing is, like, last year, me and Peter would kind of roll our eyes and stuff Ja would say because the level of pettiness that he has.
Yeah, that edge.
But, man, when your team is third in the West, hot like they are, you're about to be an all-star starter, MVP candidate.
Swagger like
Man,
us.
talk that ish, man.
Swagger
talk it.
Swagger like
It
us.
hit different when you're doing it. When he's out here saying I'm a top 5 point guard in the league in the beginning of the season, and when everybody's rolling their eyes like, man, Ja, stop it. Just go play basketball. But when he comes out there and says, no, I ain't top 5, you're right. I'm top 3. I'm top 2. I might be number 1. You know what I mean? Like, I can't get mad at him, man. I can't get mad at him at all.
Nope.
So shout out to Ja. Prayers up to him about the situation with his grandmother. It looks like he did make it down there. He tweeted out this morning that he was there with his grandmother. So I'm guessing he probably took a flight last night.
Yeah, shout out you.
Yeah.
Someone get that guy a jet, man.
Yeah,
Get him
man.
back
There's so
home.
many people in Memphis with private jets, man. Like, come on. We got our own airport here, man. We got our own private jet airport. So I know somebody probably hit him up. And I'm sure somebody with the team, Robert Perry probably arranged. Somebody probably arranged something to get him to his grandmother. So good thing with that. I saw a report from KJ Wright, Kelsey Wright, that it was his grandmother has cancer or something like that. So I don't know if that means that. I don't know what that means as far as where she is with that whole situation. But I just hope this, I send prayers and thoughts out to her.
We all are.
That she'll be okay, and that But yeah, he stuck through it last night. He had a crazy game, one of his highest scoring games in his career, 41 points last night. Phenomenal game for Ja. So glad he was able to pull through that, man.
I'm actually loving the fact of how he's utilizing the entire floor now. It's not just the points in the paint. It's the 3 for 5 from the 3-point line. It's getting not necessarily to the goal, but it's the float. I mean, this guy. Did you see the alley-oop that he threw to Brandon Clark?
Yeah.
I mean, he never actually knew where he was going with that ball, and then he throws it up with the left hand, and Clark just saves his hiney and just comes through and slams it. Those are superstar plays. Those are knowing where your men are on the floor at all time. He has that glow. I mean, if you watch The Last Dragon, I give him kind of a kinness to that. With Shonuff, they had that glow. He has that glow. For whatever reason, this guy is unstoppable at this moment. The same things that you saw with a James Harden or LeBron James when they get superstar crazy hot, there's nothing you can do about this. Better offense will supersede good defense. He is in that mode, and it is so deserving that he starts this All-Star game.
And it's crazy because you look at the box score, and you got 83 points from John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Desmond Bain. And then you've got Dylan Brooks who can give you another 18 to 20.
Team shot over 50% again.
And it just makes you wonder, like, and there was a stretch in the game that I was a little I was getting a little frustrated because towards the end of the game, typically Jaren finishes the game at the 5 and Adams comes out. And Adams stayed in. And it was just a weird stretch at the end of the game. I was like, why don't they take Adams out and bring Clark back in and just do the Jaren Clark thing? But it ended up not killing us or whatever. Jaren Jackson Jr. had a crazy line last night, 22 points, 9 rebounds. I want to say he had 6 blocks.
6.
Man, Jaren it's scary, bro. And it's like if Ja was having a regular season, like a normal season, and not losing his mind the way he is,
we would look at Jaren.
We would be looking at what Jaren's doing a lot more. You know what I mean? Because Jaren came in this season. Jaren came in this season doing literally nothing but shooting threes, fouling all over the place, looking like it's going to be more of the same. I don't know what happened. I can't even signal when it happened. But he flipped the switch, man.
I think it was the Dylan conversation.
Even
though Dylan is not out there, you used to always say, hey, there's something that Dylan is doing or saying that's channeling something.
And it's crazy because me and you were sitting at a game. I want to say we were sitting right beside each other. And Dylan was out. Dylan was out with the hand thing. And Jaren was out there getting shots up at halftime. And Dylan was out there with him saying something to him. And it seems like
every big bro action,
it seems like ever since then, man, like Jaren has really stepped his game up. And he's fouling a lot less. His defense is crazy. You can switch him on anybody. He's protecting the rim like a madman, blocking shots everywhere.
Did you see the company he joined with the blocks? I can read this for you.
Yeah, read it off.
Jaren Jackson joins Pau Gasol, Marc Gasol, and the Stromouth Swift. Only Grizz with multiple 6 block games in a single month.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. That's nuts. Jaren has just been super phenomenal on defense. He's guys you have to look at as being on one of the all defensive teams.
How Tony Allen say first team.
Jaren. So it just seems weird just coming out of my lips, man. Here, Jaren Jackson Jr. Even though I knew he was the guy who came in defensively, but Jaren was always Jaren can't guard bigs, and Jaren's gonna get fouls, and he's got the tools to do this, but he's really not actually out there doing it. And I saw fans, local fans, saying things about him as far as his defense. National guys criticizing him about his defense, but man. The crow that everyone is eating now from the way that Jaren's been playing defensively.
And at first, I wasn't seeing the vision of the great Peter Edmiston, but now I see exactly what he's saying, that championship-winning basketball with this team will have Jaren at the 5, not necessarily at the 4.
I didn't agree either, but
I didn't necessarily agree with that, but if he's going to play defense the way he's playing, we're all in on that.
Because it allows you, if Jaren can play the 5, you can bring in a guy that's more versatile at the 4. You know what I mean? A guy that's really like a big wing, a guy who can defend wings, defend other, big wings like himself, defend 4s. You can bring a guy in like that who can just make you even more dynamic, a super Kyle Anderson type, if you can truly move Jaren off to the 5. And, man, it's super exciting to see.
He's getting his respect, man.
Yeah,
one pundit said, aside from Anthony Davis, he would take Jaren Jackson Jr. as the best big man in the NBA.
Wow.
And his future. Yeah,
looking at the future, man, like you can't be mad at all, man. Desmond Bane made his return yesterday as well. He had
20 points.
20 points. Didn't shoot incredibly well from 3, I don't think.
Nope, he was 1 for 3.
Yeah, but he made his return. And if Desmond Bane makes 1 3-point shot, and he still gives you 22 points. You're cooking with grease, man. You know what I mean? For sure. Do you have any more John Moran audio?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into the audio where he's talking about his teammates. He's going on a good tangent, about Steven Adams as well as Jaren Jackson Jr.
Let's hear it.
Transition defense. So how much confidence you have in your defense, your transition defense?
I mean, do y'all see Jaren Jackson right now? And the level he's playing, on the defensive end. 6 blocks. And you have, Steve-O down there. Then, you throw in BC. Another, athletic guy who, goes up and blocks shots. It's pretty much, forcing, those guards to finish over those guys. And, as of right now, I think, Jaren probably need a Windex commercial. I told him I'm going to put his face on a Windex bottle and sell it. So don't nobody steal my idea.
Yeah, man. So shout out to John for that. We're going to talk about that later on today. We're going to talk about some brand endorsements. I want you guys to think about some brand endorsements. We can link up with some of the players on his team. Give us a call. Shoot us a text, 901-360-8255. I want to see those throughout the day. What are some brand endorsements you can see connected to our players, either because something about their name, their personality, what they do on the court? I got a couple. I got a couple.
I got a couple.
No, save it. Save it. Yeah, we're going to save it. I want to hear what one of Rob's is. We'll do that segment sometime throughout the day. We're going to talk about a lot about the Grizzlies today, talk about The Tigers have a big game today as well. Like I said, today is going to be a day of premature celebration. We're going to celebrate prematurely today, and we're going to celebrate for real tomorrow after we hear the official announcement that John Moran will be a starter in the NBA All-Star game. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Rob Fisher's going to join us. We're going to talk about the Grizzlies. We're going to talk about Ja, Desmond Bane, everything under the sun. His Kansas City Chiefs head to the AFC Championship game. We're going to talk to him about that as well. Rob Fisher joins us next on Sports 56 Grind Time.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world at sports56whbq.com or on the Sports 56 app.
What a great time to start a new year with a new car, truck, or SUV from our friends at Auto Universe Germantown. The new go-to place for the finest luxury vehicles you'll find in one place anywhere. It's on Winchester, just off 385. I'm out here looking at hundreds right now. Lexus, Toyota, Infiniti. Here's some great-looking Audis and Jeeps. And I see Hondas, Chevys, Mercedes, beautiful trucks, SUVs, and of course, cars. Go to eAutoUniverseGermantown.com and take a look for yourself. A lot of people complaining about long wait times getting service appointments. Well, just call Robert here at Auto Universe Germantown. He'll get you in now. 901-751-7300. Everything from brake service, rotating tires, transmission service, even checking the battery. Winchester just off 385. That's where they're located. You're going to love Auto Universe Germantown. Ask for Zach and tell him you heard it here on Sports 56 Radio. Finest pre-owned luxury vehicles and great no-haggle prices. 7300 Winchester off 385 or online at eAutoUniverse.com.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish
is pretty bad.
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind. Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
No matter your learning style or experience level, Babbel has lessons designed for you that will get you speaking quickly and confidently.
I tried learning Spanish before, but I couldn't stick with it until I found Babbel.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said, now we speak Spanish.
I can't wait to use our new language skills on our upcoming adventures.
Babbel, language for life, celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com, Babbel.com.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
You don't think about a lawyer until something goes wrong. When that happens, let attorney Stephen Leffler fight for you and your family. You don't leave the house in the morning expecting an accident, but it happens every day. A car wreck, you slip and fall, or you get accused of a crime and find yourself fighting for your reputation. Stephen Leffler has been fighting for you for over 35 years. Don't do it alone. Let Stephen Leffler fight your battles for you. Call Stephen Leffler, 901-527-8830, or go to LefflerLaw.com. Here to fight for you and your loved ones.
Mount Moriah Auto Sales. What sets them apart? Great selection, quality, high-end to low-end cars, and low mileage. Mount Moriah Auto Sales is under new management. Ask for Emmett or Steven. Check out their great selection of cars or trucks. Choose from Dodges, Jeeps, Fords, GMCs, Infinitis, Porsches, Range Rovers, Lexus, Mercedes, BMWs, even Bentleys. Mount Moriah Auto Sales also has a great service department with 12 bays for everything from oil changes to alignment to new tires. Go to MountMoriahAutoSales.com. Pick out your like new car or truck today. Mount Moriah Auto Sales, right on the corner and right on the price.
Now, back to Sports 56 Grind Time. Here once again are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sain.
Back on Sports 56 Grind Time. Of course, today is Wrestling Thursday. Good friend Dustin Starr of Championship Wrestling in Memphis will be joining us at 2 o'clock. We're going to talk about what's going on in the wrestling world. Got to talk about some Grizzlies stuff as well, since he is one of the voices of the Memphis Grizzlies in their production team, I think is what Dustin does. The best way to describe it. But y'all see Dustin. You see him out there with the slick back hair. With
Probably
skinny
best way.
jeans
Yeah, that's
on.
probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah. I wear skinny jeans too, but I can't get my jeans to hit quite like Dustin Starr's.
No, he is always dapper. Like
Yeah,
he's
his
always one
skinny
of the most
jeans
dapper.
hit a little differently, man. He's got a little calf action going on. A man that I've never seen in skinny jeans, but I have seen in
little calf action.
I have seen him in very nice suits and nice shoes and things like that. He is he's been promoted from pop star. He's a little bit bigger than a pop star. He's superstar, rock star level at this point in the city of Memphis as far as media is concerned. This is Rob Fisher, and he joins us now. Rob, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Always a pleasure to visit with y'all.
Man, it's good to have you on, brother. Do you wear skinny jeans at all?
I have a pair of skinny jeans.
Do they fit the way that Dustin Stars do?
No. Dustin does it well. I mean, the hair is always perfection with Dustin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm jealous of a couple of things Dustin's got cooking.
Because his jeans look almost like painted on. Like I can't get mine to. Because mine are skinny. I buy the skinniest I can buy, but I still have a little slack in them. Like Dustin's, like they show off his calves, his thighs.
Yeah.
He looks, looks
Now,
a little intimidating.
I might say something about our workout.
Right.
That's
probably
might
what
not
it is.
necessarily be the jeans.
I don't think it's because I get mine at Old Navy and he gets his from wherever. I think it's a little bit in between. Yeah, for sure. Well, Rob, what does it feel like? There's a lot of buzz yesterday talking about how the Grizzlies game was pulled from national television. It had all eyes on you guys, of course. Even on my bootleg stream that I watched yesterday, I was able to hear and see you guys. What does that feel like when of course you're happy to be there, but it's like you know what I'm trying to say, like it's kind of a catch-22 for you guys, because of course you want the team to have more national coverage, get more national eyes on them, but you guys are covering the regional game. So what goes through your mind when you see those type of conversations going on?
I didn't understand why they changed that game. I mean, I guess I do. I guess it's the Knicks, but the Knicks haven't been that good, and right now the Grizzlies are one of the most exciting teams in the league to watch. So it surprised me. As far as personally, when ESPN carries the games, we can carry the games as well, and we usually do. So I don't like that. Like family back home, they got to watch ESPN, and some people have to watch it because it ends up being blacked out. But so that's kind of disappointing. But we're still there, at least for the local fans, and it's the TNT ones that get us, where they're exclusive and we're not allowed to do that. And I'm just happy we're doing as many games. We're doing every game but one this year. I think it's a Pelicans game on TNT coming up next month, maybe. But other than that, we're doing every game, and I love doing that. And I just know as well, starting next year, that's not going to be the case. Yeah, this team's going to start getting on TV.
Yeah,
I mean, forget the Pelicans at this point. It's time to show the Grizzlies on national TV, and I think there will be a lot of dates next year.
Yeah, it does feel that way for sure. I think I can feel that Christmas game coming in. I think this might be the year, Rob. Especially if we do well in the playoffs, man. I can see this being the year that we get that Christmas Day game for sure. Well, Rob, I talked about how you've graduated from being a pop star. You were once in the same fraternity. You graduated on to superstar status, calling play-by-play and all these type of things for the team.
Right.
So that kind of pushed you in a different echelon than guys like myself.
For a week.
Yeah. We inducted Cassie Carlson. We inducted her in her Penny video that went super viral. Just really put her into another stratosphere as well. So she came in well, earned her stripes. I let her know that she earned her stripes as a media pop star. But another superstar was John Moran last night, who actually was getting the superstar calls towards the end of the game. It was calls that had me kind of grabbing my chest, like, oh my God, I feel so bad for the Spurs. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm not. I'm sorry, Coach Popovich. I apologize, but John was getting those calls last night, those favorable calls in our way that looked like the refs were waiting to blow the whistle just because John was going to the basket. How did that feel watching the game and seeing a guy, John Moran, who's getting the favor of the referee's whistle?
Well, I mean, we're getting it every night of just more proof of he's a superstar already. Just his third year in the league. Getting the respect from officials, and it was noticeable last night. And Ja, to his credit and his basketball IQ, and for how fundamental he is, he took advantage of it. And did it every time down the floor. He told me after the game, his floater wasn't working, so went to the basket, drew contact, and kept getting to the line where he was knocking them down. Perfect 6 for 6 in the fourth quarter. It's amazing, Anthony. Every night I think we appreciate it. I think we notice it. I think we believe it. But it's still something different for us. And last night it was a moment for me, because about midnight last night, our producer, Scott Zachary, just texted me this stat on Ja, and I was like, it's just amazing that it's every night. And he texted back and said, it sometimes doesn't feel real that we have a superstar that we get to watch every single night. And I responded to him and just said, this is rare. This is rare. And, you were always kind of jealous of, the Oklahoma City Thunder from day one, and them having Kevin Durant and how they felt about it and what it turned out to be. I mean, that's where we're at right now. We got this guy. He's ours. Mm-hmm. He's ours. He's ours, and we get to watch him every single night. And for how exciting his play has been this year, for how exciting the team has been this year, to even have the conversation of whether or not they're contenders, to me, the exciting thing is this is going to be a hell of a ride. The Core 4 thing was a great ride. This is the beginning of a hell of a ride. I thought that last year when the Grizzlies had their playoff match against Utah, when it ended, the thing that I took away from that series was this is the first in a long line of playoffs. And to see what they're doing this year, I mean, it's even grown beyond that. I think when people talk about them being contenders or not, obviously you have to say yes, because they're the third best team in the league right now. So sure, but and so much goes into it, and the experience goes into it, and everything goes into it, that there are just a lot of variables that make me kind of, I don't know if I want to throw that word out there. Are they capable of it? Absolutely. But I don't know. But what excites me is, if you ask the question, in the next 5 years, can this team contend for a title? The answer is absolutely yes, 100%, without even blinking. And to think that, I was walking into the arena last night and coming from the parking garage, and just kind of looked out in the plaza out front, and it was empty last night. It was a quiet night downtown, and I looked out and I thought to myself, imagine the playoffs, imagine an NBA Finals, imagine what this scene will be like, and we're on that trajectory right now. It's incredible, man. And my friend Mark Followell, who does the games for the Dallas Mavericks, I asked him one time about covering Dirk and covering him for his entire career, and he said it's just something, as the years go on, you appreciate it more and more, and you wish you would have appreciated it even more at the beginning. So he's like, you gotta, it's a once in a lifetime possibly type of talent, and we got that. You got to appreciate what he's doing now and savor it, remember it, because it's something special, and it's the beginning of something special for this whole organization.
Hey, Rob, this is Darian. We are using this superstar term loosely, in which we are all ecstatic because Ja is definitely deserving of being called a superstar. But are you okay with the moxie and the swagger that he brings to the team, and the, I guess, the seemingly naysayers not liking Ja's, not wanting to bow down and say that he's a second market, smaller market kind of guy. He's looking really big picture superstars to me. He's acting that way. Are you okay with the moxie that he's bringing to the team, and what do you have about the naysayers of it?
Well, 100%. I love what he brings as far as the moxie, the swag that he's got. And let me go back, though, a second. I'm one that when I throw out the term superstar, I can count them on one hand,
right?
In less than one hand. I mean, I'm not. There are a lot of stars in this league, but I'm talking the superstars. There are maybe 3, 4. And that's why I normally say he's on his way to being a superstar, but he's got so many of the tendencies to be a superstar. I mean, the things that you were just talking about. What I always look at, what puts the Kobe Bryants, the LeBron James, the Kevin Durants, those guys above everybody else, what the things that they have in common, not just the talent, but the things they have in common is that hatred of losing, hate it, refusing to lose. I mean, last night, just Ja's answer, he's so good interviewing him on the postgame. When I asked him, what was the difference down the stretch? And he just looked at the camera and said, I didn't want to lose. I wanted to win. I mean, the guy, he's got that refusal to lose. The other thing they all have in common, they're killers, man. They're killers. They can take the ball in their hand and they can go ahead and they can put you out. And he's got that too. So he's got the things that make you a superstar. As far as naysayers, beautiful thing about it is when you're a superstar, you're going to have naysayers. Who's got more naysayers in all of the league? LeBron James.
Right.
I mean, seriously? Okay, fine. Be a naysayer, whatever. Because the only thing that does to Ja is it motivates him. He's one of those guys, and, Kobe did the same thing. Every little thing that he will use to motivate himself. The game not being on ESPN last night. Yeah, he uses it as a little chip on his shoulder. Really? I mean, come on, that's silly. Ja doesn't need that to motivate it. But you know what? Whatever it takes. And if that's a little thing that just adds to that chip, okay, fine. Deal with it. Cool. Go get him, Ja, and take it out on him. I mean, he's got all those qualities, and just the confidence he plays with, and I think the way that he plays with his teammates, it's beautiful. Another thing that puts superstars in common, they're not just great and flashy and amazing. They make the team infinitely better. And Ja makes this team infinitely better. And, the way that he incorporates the team, the way that he can pass and finds the open guy and makes the right play, and guys now are kind of following. I thought early in the season, much like last year, I thought there were a lot of times where the team kind of stood around watching Ja to make something happen. I think when Ja missed the 12 games earlier this season with the injury, I think the team realized what they needed to do to win basketball games. And when Ja came back, it all incorporated beautifully. And no one is standing around watching Ja. No one is. Everyone's involved, and it's been incredible basketball to watch.
Rob, Jaren Jackson Jr. last night finished with 22 points, 9 rebounds, which is a surprise, and a crazy 6 shot blocks last night. That was a great line from him. The rebounds. You remember that company? The rebounds and the blocks were crazy. But
I'm wearing some Reeboks.
Yeah,
right
man.
now,
I know, right? Did you ever have some Soldier Reeboks with the bubblegum soles? You ever had those?
I got some Reeboks. They're white and baby blue, and they got a little Grizzly logo on
Yeah, there you go. They had the clear sole on. Had the baby blue sole on. The clear sole?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah.
Larry Brown, North Carolina Blue.
But no, something that stood out to me watching yesterday's game is how Jaren recognized the mismatch. He recognized that he had a rookie player on him. I can't remember the guy's name. But he went at him early and established his offense, getting to the basket a lot. That's something we really didn't see in Jaren in years past. And this season, we didn't see that. What do you think is really leading to Jaren just being having much more initiative on the offensive end, getting to the basket, not just selling for the three-point shot? He only took 3 last night. The one he made was crazy. It was huge. It put the Grizzlies in a much more comfortable situation towards the end of the game. What do you think has led to him being more assertive, recognizing those mismatches and getting to the basket, getting to the rim like he's been doing lately?
I think the games when Steven Adams was out changed everything.
Yeah.
You you mentioned the 9 rebounds. Well, how many times when Jaren's played the 4 for a lot of a game, starts at the 4 and plays most of his minutes at the 4, is he a 9 rebound guy and a 6 block guy and a 22 point guy? I think when Steven Adams was out and he had to play all the minutes at the 5, his ability, and Darko Rajakovic, who was the acting head coach at the time, said he's just bullying them, and they have no answer for him, and he's recognizing it. And I think Jaron recognized it, that he can't be stopped with his length and his athleticism. He gets in the paint, he puts that spin on you. You can't stop him. And I think his activity, his timing, I mean, everything's really kind of locked in right now with Jaron. And I mean, his timing on the blocks and not getting the fouls, his ability to get in there and get the rebounds, even when Steven Adams is in the game, he's doing it. And with Adams in the game, he has found ways now to still work offensively around the basket. Whereas in the past, I don't think he went to the basket enough. And, it was kind of like when Jonas was in there and took up a lot of that space. And Jaron wasn't going to the basket. He was shooting a lot of threes. But now I think he has found a way with Steven Adams to be able to go to the basket even when he's playing the four. And it's paying off. I mean, when he goes strong to the hoop, he more often than not, he's unstoppable. And it's just a matter of if he gets to roll on a friendly rim or not. I mean, that was brutal in Dallas, how many opportunities he had at the basket and how many of them just rimmed out. But, that was just a rough night for everybody shooting. But more so, I mean, he's been automatic, and it's been great to see. I mean, he's racked up the double-doubles. He's only got, I think, 4 on the season, and 3 have come like in the last 15 games. The 6 blocks, I mean, how he's averaging close to 4 blocks a game over the last 10. I mean, it's remarkable what he's doing right now. And I'll say this. Sorry to make this long, but the night in Utah, it was the end of November when they got that big win in Utah, and Jaron hit the game-winning 3. That night during the game, I told Brevin Knight, I said, I've never noticed it. Maybe I just haven't paid attention, but Jaron's locked in. There's a focus that I don't remember seeing. And when he hit that 3, and I even told you guys after he hit that 3, it was just stone-faced, focused. I mean, serious. We still got a couple seconds to play kind of attitude from Jaron, and it was noticeable. And since then, when you watch him in pregame, you watch him just prior to the introduction, you watch him during the introduction, you watch him in the huddle, you watch him on the floor, there is just a high level of focus right now from Jaren Jackson Jr., and it's all serious, and it's all business. And, we talked about it at the beginning of the season. Give him 20 games, and let's see what happens from there. And since that 20-game point, man, he's been